Hello, hello, hello. Crafty Chris here again for another Scrap Your Scraps Thursday night. Tonight we are going to be working on our October ATC cards. The theme for our October ATC cards is Halloween or fall. Some people do not celebrate Halloween. So I went into my pre-cut stash and pulled out some of my jelly prints and some of my inked background pieces in colors I thought that it evoked fall or evoked Halloween. And with that, I have some fun little doodle pops. I've got different washi to go with this, and I have some tags. I don't know if I'll use them, but I need to have a way to get some sayings onto the backgrounds. So some of these have sayings. Just have to be careful of the color. So hello might be one that I can add in there. And keep calm. Oh, that would be a fun one with the spiders. What else do we have here? So I jumped right into going through this. And that's camo. Nope, not feeling it. Not feeling that one. What about this one? Nope. Okay, so I've got two possibilities. Just went quickly through that package. And then I've got some stickers and stuff as well that I can play with. So I'm not going to take you through the process of me completely going through everything, but basically I look for two or three things. I look for things that blend with the color and blend with the theme and that have either text on them or something interesting about them. So like the doodle pops are kind of fun because they're wonky and they're dimensional. This black cat washi tape has the word meow in it, and black cats in Halloween are very common. This is a washi tape that is more fall related, which I'll put over with my fall stuff. But I think I'm going to try to fit everything into that Halloween theme, and then we'll see what happens as we go. Alrighty. So to begin with, I want to think about backgrounds. I do have this really interesting little stencil that I could stencil in the background, either with ink or with a paste. I also have this little spidery guy that I could cut a bunch of things out with. I think I'm going to cut 3 of these spiders just to give me a start on maybe something that I can use. And I'm just going to pull these guys away for a moment. These I'm going to keep. We're going to do 3 little spiders, and I've got the wonky little spiders here too, which I'm going to keep. And this is my fun little cutting thing. Let me grab some black paper. Is it going to be fat enough? Woo! Just. All right, so I'm going to tape this down because it will shift. And it's just big enough. So I have all kinds of excess washi tape. Oh, I have a piece there. This might be better though. So I'm going to tape my guy right edge to edge. So it doesn't shift. Make sure that I have it back from the edge of the plate so that I can have a little running room. And you should only have to go through once. If you're going through more than once, that means your sandwich is probably wrong. All right, how'd we do? Ooh, look at that. Get my pokey tool out so I can poke that spider out. So there's one spider, and I'm going to do 2 more. Okay, so I've got my 3 spiders out. These are kind of cool. I might keep those just to have maybe an additional thing that I can use in the background, because they might come in handy, so I'll keep those. And then I got my 3 little spiders, which also might come in handy. Now what I was thinking was that I could cut 3 more out and use a pop dot to create more bulk on these spiders, much in the way that the 3D bulk is added to the doodle pops. And I think I might do that. Just going to grab paper. Okay, now what I was going to do with these is I'm going to trim off the arms. On 3 of these. And I'm going to pop dot. Actually, I don't even want the bottom part now that I'm thinking about it. I'm going to pop that. I'll take a quarter of a pop dot for this. Oops, come on. They're very sticky. It's good to use Teflon scissors with this. So I'm going to stick that pop dot on there, and then stick this pop dot on the body, lining up the tail, little pointy tail at the end. Now, I'm not thrilled with how that's sticking out, so I am just going to, when I do my next cut, change the cut a little bit. But for now, I am going to put a little tiny bit of glue underneath here. And I am just going to push that down and hold it until it grabs. All right. So you can see what I've done now is I've made like a V shape so that it looks a little bit more, you can see my glue there, puffy in the back end and not puffy in the front end. So it kind of builds to a big puffy spot. So I am going to change how I cut the next one. Let's just get this stuff out of the way here. So this one I am also going to cut, whoops, don't want to lose that. Cut off the legs. And I'm just going to cut a little bit ahead. And I think, I'm going to round it a little bit. Okay, so I have my back end and just so I've got like a teardrop shape. And now we're going to get that other piece of pop dot, put that at the bottom, get some white glue under the tip, line up the bottom point with the point on the spider, and then hold it down. Until it takes the glue, and then you have a three-dimensional spider that has a little bit of a bump here. I think that looks awesome. So let's do the last one. All right, there we go. We've got our 3 big spiders, and we've got this, and we've got this. So let's see now. So I could have a spider web on 3 of these with this spider on it. I'll worry about those after the fact. Worry about these things after the fact. I could have fun and cutesy ones. On 2. Leave my frog for another day. Could do that and spider on that one, a spider on this one. Alrighty, then what else do we need? Now this tag, hello, could be on one of these, or maybe that one. And keep calm could be on one of these guys, maybe that one. All right, now, so I picked a couple of things out, not very much from my fall, but I think I'm going to make this an actual fall one. So I've got some washi from that. I like the background black and whiteness of this, and I am thinking I might use that on this one. I like the meow for the cats, and I like the black stitching, so there's a couple of things I can do with that. But I also like this. Maybe I could use that in the fall one as well. Maybe I could put spiders with fall colors. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Or maybe I could use that under the spiders. That would look kind of fun too. Go this way. Anyway, there are some potential things happening there. So I want to start off, and I think I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 with a sparkly web in the background, and 1 with a dark black web. I'm not going to do any web on this for now. So let's just kind of get our piles of things off to one side, as we don't know what's going on with that yet. Okay, now I want to do some sparkly stuff through this, but I want it to be a paste, and I have this sort of iridescent-y purple paste, which I think I might do for this. Now a couple, oh yeah, just got it all over everything. Hold on a moment. Put that in here. Okay, so, but what I want to do first is I want to mask this little guy. I don't want him to show up. So I am going to take some old washi tape that I have, and I am just going to go in and cover him up. Gotta be careful not to cover anything else up. There we go. And then I can fold that under, make sure it doesn't shift. Make sure, oops, that little piece there might get in the way. Make sure my web is nice and open. All right, so I'm going to take my rubber spatula. I always use things from inside the lid first because I just don't want them to dry in the lid. And I also am not going to take as much as I did before. And I'm just going to, I think I'm going to use my sticky mat because it helps prevent things from moving around, because this is a little bit delicate. So this is my sticky mat. I just need a little place, and then the paper doesn't shift. And then I can just hold this in place, but I still need to tack it down a bit. So I have other washi tape lying around. I do not throw out my washi tape that I use. I hang on to it, and then I just pull pieces off when I need it. So this is hanging around because you don't need to have too much wasted washi tape. All right, I think we're going to do this. Stick that down there. Stick that down there. That will help keep it flat. And then I can just scrape that off into the pan, and I will use that again on the next one. We're just going to pull this off. Now, what happened here is that I pushed too many times and my color went under the stencil, and that is a problem when you're using mixed media stencils. So I do need to make sure I've got that cleaned off. So let's get a little paper towel. And I want to rub that off. I don't want that to stick on my next piece. There we go. All right. So that was number one. Where did I put it? Over here. So I'm just going to keep that out of the way. This is my number two. And I think I'm going to have it sort of middle. Yeah, I keep getting that problem. So we are going to use a dauber. This guy is going to go for washing. And I am going to find a dauber. But first I'm going to wipe this off here. Okay. This up on the left side. And find myself a dauber. Here's a dauber. Much better. Okay, because then I can just put light layers and just pat it in rather than stroking it in. That's better. That's more like I want to see. And let's get going because it is drying. There we go, another spider web with my mess around it, but that's all right. Makes it unique, you know? And then this one, I'm going to stick up in the corner here. There we go. It's very sticky stuff. Very sticky. Okay. Let's see what we got going on here. All right. So it's so sticky that the webby parts are starting to get filled in. But you know what? I don't care. It looks great, and I'm going to use those. Alrighty, so I didn't want to put you through the challenge of cleaning up. So with these iridescent pastes, they are not as thick as the distress stuff. So it does take a little more cleanup, and I will go in after the fact and just scrape it up because it does come up. You just need to use a gentle scraper. So I have a Teflon scraper here with no rough pointy edges. And I also have, so let me just put it, oops, that might be too much. And you can use a paper towel for that. And it will clean up nicely. There we go. Now you just want to make sure that your paper towel is wet with sanitizer when you're rubbing it, because otherwise it will leave some fuzzies behind, but it doesn't really affect the work of the mat. And then you just roll your mat back up and put it away. Alrighty, so these guys are quick dry. They're already dry. And let's pull them out. We have varying degrees of spidery things. Okay, now I think on this one I want it to be fun and funky. So I am going to put the hello on this side so that or maybe, yeah, see I don't want to go beyond the 2.5, so I'm going to have to put it this way, right up at the top. So I am going to have that just glued down. I'm going to leave the edges open. I'm going to go right to the edge, leave about just over 1/16 of an inch, and then I am going to trim across the top. And as you can see, these ones I've made out of scrap paper, so they are lighter, and these ones are made out of cardboard, so they are heavier. So this one's going to need a base, and I have all kinds of paper that I can use lying around, so I can glue that afterwards on a base before I move to putting on the ATC description thing, one of these guys. Alrighty, so put you over there. Now I wanted this little funny popped up critter. He's going to be just hanging off. Oh, I'm going to have him down here, and I'm going to take a very pale purple and draw a line from inside the web. Now you can't see it yet, but you'll be able to see it in a minute when I go over it with my Nouveau. There we go. My little line now is starting to show up. So the little line is sparkly. So he's hanging down from there. Now, I may want to do more with him. I'm just going to leave him there for a minute. This one, now, are there any that I want to put sideways? That one is okay that way. think I'm just going to put these little guys right on here. So there's my little bat. And this guy is just going to go right in the middle of his web. There we go. I think I'm just going to put some stitching around the edge of this. And I'm going to put the stitching right along the bottom. I can't see it, so let's, there we go. That will help me see the edge. And I want to put this right along the edge of the bottom. I'm going to trim off. All right, there we go. Oh, it's all stuck to my fingers. All right, so that's stitching along the bottom edge. I think I'd like to do that all the way around this one. Where did I put it? There we go. All right, large scissors. Literally going to cut across all at once. And there we go. Okay. Now, washi tape does need securing, so we're going to put a little bit of glue where they join here and along the edge. And just to make sure that I push under to get the glue forced under those edges. All right. There we go. Okay, and I might want to add something there, like a sentiment of some sort. Not really sure what's going on there. So this one, I'm gonna have this half circle, but I'm gonna make it more interesting by going around it with black, so it pops a bit more. And I'm just gonna go around the edge. Actually, I'm gonna use the brush side. It's just a little easier. Go around the edge. Give it some strength. Oh, my goodness. I got washi stuck all over me. Okay, there we go. And then I am going to put my detail pen and I'm going to just do this inside circle, which is that's the finest. Need a ruler. So we're going to do from there to there. And let's see, are any of these big enough to give me? Oh, that's amazing. No, just a little too big. This should do. I'm just giving more girth to that circle. Since I've gone over, we're just going to go straight across. And then I am going to get some small black letters and put boo in there. Get rid of this. So I'm going to take a B. I'm going to do it all in caps, and we're going to do B. I usually use my lining tool, but I thought I could do it without my lining tool. There we go, B. Boo! There we go. That looks fun. Keep those out in case I want to do more words. All right, so we are going to have this little spider coming down here. This is going to go on there. It's awfully white. Very, very white. So what I think I'm going to do is just put some pencil on there to give it a grayish look. Could do it with ink too. Just using the side of my graphite pencil to gray it all down. I don't want to use the tip because the tip will leave too many lines. And these are soft, so afterwards I can go in and smudge them. Okay, and now I just take my finger and I go in and I smudge it all around. There we go. That's what soft graphite pencils are great for. There we go. That doesn't pop out so much. Perfect. Now, I think this little guy's body is going to be glued down. I am going to pop dot this up. Just make sure it's horizontal. There we go. I am going to put some silver on the popped part of the body. Maybe I'll do the whole thing. There we go. We got it glistening. Little guy. Now what else do I want to do? I think I'm just going to take some of that sparkle, put it on my mat, and just rub it in spots to give the background a little slight bit of sparkle. You can't see it well on the computer, but it is sparkly. There we go. I like it. There's number 2. Well, number 1 that's finished. I don't want to do anything else to that guy. He looks just fine. This one, I'm going to put some meows across. There we go. I'm going to put some meows across to cover up that. This is going to cover up that. So there's never a mistake that you cannot fix. This is going to go right across the top. And I want it centered. Woo. This is the hard part, centering it. Okay, so there, across to there. Now for some reason that doesn't feel straight. Oh. Okay, so when I was pulling it off, a bit of it already came off in my on the back of the washi, so I'm going to make sure I glue that down. as well as put the holder glue in. So let's go. This side is what got pulled up, and it will be the side that will release itself and cause everything else to release. There we go. And now I'm going to put a little glue here, and just a bead of glue very lightly across the top. Rub that in because it's on the direct edge. Push that in, push that in. There we go. Everything is all taken care of. All right, and now this guy is going to be hanging here, and the hole is going to be there because I don't want to keep too high up, so I'm going to keep the hole there, and I need a piece of trim. So I have a bit of twine, and I'm just going to poke that in there and through here, and I'll trim it after when I figure out where I have it. Okay, I'm putting pot dots here and here and flat until there and there. Now on this one, it's well dried. Now I'm just going to curl up the tip because I didn't glue it all the way down, so we curl up the tip. It gives it a little more dimension. This I'm going to do the same thing. Curl up the tip, and then we need to get our spider on there. Now, do I want more Mio at the bottom? No, I don't want to encapsulate it. This is like it's all hanging, so I'm going to leave it like that. But I am going to put some sparkle on the body, and I am going to put some sparkle on Keep Calm. I'm not being super careful because it's clear, so you're only really going to see the sparkle on the black letters anyway. And then what do I want to do? Still got that one to do as well. Okay. So I think I like that just the way it is. I will show them all to you at the end. Well, maybe I'll show you now. So we have our, see, you can see the sparkle up here. So this is our boo, very simple. And this is our Keep Calm. I'm not sure about that, not sure about that. This needs something. That's garbage. I think I might put some of this back in the background of this one. I like the idea of these spiders crawling up, but do I want it underneath this? So let's see what happens. Now this is the challenge. If you don't use your washi tape, it does get pretty bad, but this one is actually quite good. So if I put this down, and I'm just going to stick it lightly, and then actually I don't want to put it all the way down there. Careful, 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 careful. Actually, before I put this back on there, I don't want it to stick permanently. Let me see whether I like this look or not. So that would be, yeah, I think I would. All right. So we are gonna glue. I think I want them climbing down the side. and I want mostly text, I think. So they have kind of a uniformy look. So I'm gluing this right on top of the washi. So now I'm going to trim it. So now I'm just going to put a little extra glue along the edges, because this one I can't really rub over like I did the other ones. The glue to help support it so that it stays on. And we're going to do about 1/8 of an inch. And we're going to bring it down just a little because we want it to be sort of centered. There we go. Now we'll just press that down, trim it off. Now that looks fun. Look at that. Isn't that fun? That I'm going to keep, that I'm going to keep. This is garbage. That's garbage. All right, now we have this guy, and again, too bright and cheerful. So I am going to go over it. There we go. Use my finger to rub it and blend it in. It doesn't make it vintage, it just tones everything down. So now it doesn't pop out of the piece. And this I want to put on pop dots. Okay, hello autumn. Alrighty. So there we are. Now I feel this just needs something else. So that's where I come to my other things that I have here. I think I'm going to take an owl. I am going to fussy cut it, and of course through the magic of television I will be right back. Alrighty, so we are back, and I like the way that owl is just flying in to get those buggy boos, and I am just going to put glue on the bottom half and just a tiny bit of the wings, because I'm going to have those wings bend up a bit to give it 3 dimensions. Just give it a second to dry. So then this one is going to bend that way, and this one is going to bend that way. So now you kind of get a sense of it flying. Okay, there we go. Now I like that one. But does it need glossy something? Do I want a glossy inside or outside? Or do I just glossy hello autumn? Let's start with that. It's not really glossy, it's shimmer. I think I just like the glossy on the one thing. And that's done. So this is done. This is done. Wasn't too sure about those two. Now this one needs some sort of a life, and I like washi tape, and that looked like a great spot for it. Let's trim off the excess, and I'm going to glue down the edges. You have everybody climbing down, so let's have him climbing up. And I need some kind of saying. Oh, I like be brave. Be brave or just breathe. Let me pull those two off. Just breathe. is coming to you. Just breathe or be brave. No, I like the just breathe. You have to breathe. Alrighty. I'm going to trim a bit of this off because I noticed that it has a white edge, and sometimes your pre-cut stuff will have miscuts, and I can leave this completely flat, or I can pop dot it. I think it needs pop dotting. Actually, I'm just going to put one in the middle and then glue on the ends, but I am going to dust this because I don't want it to get bent, and some of these go in the mail. So if it gets bent and it gets stuck, it's worse than if it just gets bent, because then you can unbend it. But if it's stuck, it's hard to do. Okay, now I'm going to wipe off the edges. And I'm going to put glue at the edges, which will give this sort of an arcing look. Take off that pop dot cover. And we're going to go just breathe. There we go. Just hold that down for a second. All right. So as you can see, it has like an arched look to it, so it gives it 3D. Now this guy, you have to glue him down. And this is the one that's messy, but I like it. All right. So let's get our guy glittered up. And I think I like that just as it is. Super simple, but finished. Finishing is always good. Now these guys, not sure about this. This one I think is fine. He's going to live up there. This, I'm wondering if I can put a tiny bit of flower border, because he looks so kooky. It's kind of like a fun thing. So I feel like I can get away with a border of flower across the bottom. I do feel like I can. And I'm going to go right to the edge. Works for me. But you know what? His little string is not showing up enough. So I need to get my super fine 005. So I have a super fine black, and I'm just going to go over, and now it just gives me, I can see his hanging. Now I can see him hanging, and there's still glitter left there. You can see the glitter. All right, so that I'm happy with now. This one, I feel like I need just something there. What could that be? I don't want flowers. I don't want cats. Oh, I need to do some extra stuff. Secure now. So, this little guy, what do I want to put? What do I want to put? I could put a moth, but the moth I might have to gray down quite a bit. I could put one of these frames in there. And then just put boo on it. So that's what I think I'm doing. And this time I'm going to use my trimmer because it's a rectangle and I want to make sure I cut it nicely. So let's get the trimmer out here. So I'm going to trim this very closely. It's going to go in there. I'm going to gray it down before I put words on it. So we're going to do our graining down thing. There we go. So all those lines are gone. And now I think I'm going to put eek. Eek. And I think eek is EKK. So find my phone, double check EKK. So it is EEK. Eek. And I'm going to take my black pen and just put little hand-drawn exclamation mark. There we go. That's fun. And I'm going to pop it on an angle, a jaunty angle. And I think I need to make it sparkly. I'm just going to go over the entire thing. Oh no, that is not good. That pen was not permanent. All right, so these are alcohol based. Therefore, when you use them with alcohol markers, they interact badly, as you can see. And sometimes I am too involved in what I'm doing that I don't make the connection. And then I have a boo-boo. But what I can do is after this dries, I'll go over it again. Alrighty. So I'm going to let that dry, but let's look what we have here. Our fall Halloween combos. Oh, that is just so much fun. This I want to trim, and I am going to bring it behind the tag. Actually, I don't need to trim it. I'm just going to leave it behind the tag, like so. And now I'm just going to fix that really quickly, and hopefully it won't be as noticeable. There we go. Eek! Alrighty. And there you have it. Our 6 October ATC cards. So thank you for joining me tonight. If you enjoyed this video, please share it with your friends and don't forget to subscribe at the end of the video. Bye for now.